Duolingo's social team issues a cry for help. HBO maxes out its allowable rebrands, and why I wish I was an Oscar Mayer Wiener. Happy Friday, Carnies, and welcome back to the Daily Carnage Show. I'm Shannon, I'm a digital marketing strategist at Carney, and I'm your host. So grab your coffee and let's get started. Okay, so last Saturday, Duolingo mysteriously wipes its Instagram and TikTok accounts. They put "Gone for Now 123" in the bio, accompanied by 2 dead rose emojis and 3 eye emojis. Duolingo's last post on X was "Real eyes, real eyes, real lies." And Duolingo had been in the news because of a controversial LinkedIn post, which quoted an all-hands email that was sent out by the CEO, Luis von Ahn. And the email is a little spooky. In it, he issues what feel like 4 warnings. We're going to gradually stop using contractors where AI can handle the work. AI use will be part of what we look for in our hiring process. AI use will be part of what we evaluate for in performance reviews. And headcount will only be given if a team cannot automate more of their work. Essentially, he's saying grab your life vests. And he equates this decision to go AI first with Duolingo's investment in mobile first back in 2012, which did pan out pretty well for them. As you can imagine, the social accounts were all immediately flooded with backlash before they were wiped completely. A Duolingo spokesperson confirmed that it was intentional, saying that the brand was just experimenting with silence. But then on Tuesday, Duolingo posts a video, and it's in the style of anonymous videos. There's a person wearing a 3-eyed duo mask, and their voice is modulated to protect their identity. And they claim to be a member of the social team. And in their chaotic message, they say that one post about AI from the elites has ruined everything that the social team has built. Oh, Duo. I understand how we got here. I think I do. The comments, as you can expect, are flooded with "Okay, but remove AI." Someone said this is literally a manipulation tactic by the social media team to side with everyone against AI for now, so it looks better for the public image. So maybe it didn't go as planned. Or maybe it did. Is it plausible that the CEO email is planted to cause backlash, to start the conversation, in order to allow the social team to position itself as for the people, with the people, so that we all look really dumb when the brand comes out as a never AI company? Is this the real eyes, real lies? Man, I hope, but probably not, because this week that same CEO was quoted saying that all teachers will be replaced by computers. There's nothing computers can't teach us, and that in the future schools will just become glorified daycares. I think this guy meant what he said. I think this guy means business. He means AI first business. I'm so mad because they have me captivated again. Whether it's real or fake, it does feel manipulative. Like, the more that I talk about this, the more confused I become. In some ways, it speaks to how we have such a meta, pun not intended, such a meta relationship to brand social media accounts. We do in some ways consider them independent and exclusive of the brands they're attached to. We see them as the social intern or the social media team. We kind of understand what's going on behind the scenes now. We're all kind of in on the joke. So it's not a huge cognitive leap for us to believe that the Duolingo social team is frustrated by what's happening behind the scenes at their organization, but it is kind of inconceivable that this level of dissent would be approved. Why would Duolingo fuel criticisms about AI if they do ultimately intend to go AI first? Is the social team just creatively making it up as they go and trying to respond in real time to match the public opinion? Are they backing themselves into a corner, or are they 3 steps ahead of us in the middle of a PR stunt that we just can't see right now? But what's the other option? That public opinion has actually caused them to pause and reverse course? I don't know. I'm gonna have to leave this here. I don't have any more information, but I will keep you posted. Okay, I'm popping in post-production to let you know that Duolingo has indeed posted a follow-up video in which this alleged anonymous member of the social team interviews the CEO about the unfortunate AI first email. I'm just gonna play it for you, but what you'll see is that we get an apologetic CEO who gets to use his talking points here, not to walk back the AI first announcement, but to maybe humanize it a little bit more. Meanwhile, the anonymous character serves as a proxy for us, the audience, asking the questions that have been echoed in the comments, representing our point of view and expressing our sentiment about this announcement.
I'm making the man who caused this mess accountable for his behavior. I'm demanding answers from the CEO, Luis von Ahn.
I know you're upset. I know people are upset. I want to make this right, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
First question. So are there going to be any more humans left at this company?
Our employees are what make Duolingo so amazing. Our app is so great because our employees made it. Our social media presence is so funny and unhinged, not because I did that or because an AI did that. It's because our employees did. So we're going to continue having employees. And not only that, we're actually going to be hiring more employees.
How do we know that these aren't just empty promises? As long as you're in charge, we can still get shuffled out once the media fire dies down. And we all know that in terms of automation, CEO should be the first to go.
AI is a fundamental shift. It's going to change how we all do work, including me. And honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I want us as a company to have our workforce prepared by really knowing how to use AI so that we can be more efficient with it.
Learning a foreign language is literally about human connection. How is that even possible with AI first?
Yes, language is about human connection, and it's about people. And this is the thing about AI. AI will allow us to reach more people and to teach more people. I mean, for example, it took us about 10 years to develop the first 100 courses on Duolingo. And now in under a year, with the help of AI and of course with humans reviewing all the work, we were able to release another 100 courses in less than a year.
So do you regret posting this memo on LinkedIn?
Honestly, I think I messed up sending that email. What we're trying to do is empower our own employees to be able to achieve more and be able to have way more content to teach better, and reach more people, all with the help of AI.
While I do think dividing the Duolingo organization into multiple personalities and allowing them to argue with each other is a clever approach to a PR nightmare, ultimately, I don't think it was successful here. Many of the top comments express that a proper interview or apology video would have been more appropriate here. It seems to me that Duolingo may have tried to approach this with a more flippant tone consistent with its other content, but the problem is that most people feel like this isn't a laughing matter. That damn twerking owl. Okay, so Google's AI overviews have just turned 1 year old, but understandably, not everyone is celebrating. The feature launched in the US on May 14th, 2024, and you're pretty familiar with this now, I'm sure. It shows you AI-generated summaries at the top of your search results, and it appears before any of the blue links on your SERP. It's designed to give users quick answers, but for marketers and publishers, it's been a bit of a wake-up call. Essentially, click-through rates have tanked. After overviews started showing up, we're seeing over 50% drops in CTR in some cases, and according to new research, 80% of users are now resolving nearly half of their searches without clicking a link. You know, ever since the Google Q&A snippets started appearing, we started having to talk about zero-click search, but this is bigger than that. AI is doing your homework now. It's doing your research. You no longer have to click through several links to get a better understanding of the scope of your question and answers. Half the time I am relying on AI overviews because they're sufficient enough to answer my simple queries, or I'm just typing my question with the word Reddit on the end so that I can read real human opinions. And while organic traffic has clearly taken a hit, paid search has mostly held steady for now. And that's because AI overviews typically appear on early funnel informational queries, so brands haven't seen so much impact on lower funnel paid campaigns, but that could change soon. There's also growing interest in platforms like Perplexity and AI-focused tools that help brands understand how their content is being interpreted and shared by large language models. The bottom line is that AI overviews have blown up search, and as they expand, now appearing in over 13% of US desktop searches, we're only seeing the beginning of this shift. What this means is that brands that have built their digital strategy around traditional SEO and paid search are going to need to evolve very fast. If you want to be the marketer in the room who can authoritatively talk about this, then make sure you subscribe to the Daily Carnage newsletter. Monday through Thursday, we send you tools, tactics, news, actionable insights that you can use right away. And then on Friday, we recap everything. We throw in some games and trivia. We have fun. We're a family here. We have fun. Okay, moving on. As I'm sure you remember, back in November, Jaguar rebranded. I think it was the worst rebrand of 2024 and potentially the 2020s, but we'll have to see about that. As part of its plan to go fully electric by 2026, the admittedly iconic British car maker fully ditched its growling cat emblem. It launched this new minimalist J logo, and it ran these really confusing ads that didn't even feature cars. Let me just pull this up again. The problem was that it looked like a challenge shoot from an episode of America's Next Top Model. 2 brands stand before me, but only one can be on top. The rebrand was led by Accenture's Song, and it was meant to signal a radical shift for the brand, admittedly. They were trying to pivot into high-end luxury, but Jaguar ultimately just confused and alienated its fan base. It was a quick and dirty erasure of its past. They dumped all the heavy lifting logos and nods to its heritage. And I think most importantly, they just failed to make an emotional connection. The campaign just felt sort of aloof and cold. And they got dragged for this, but they did double down at first. And now there are reports that they might actually be parting ways with Accenture Song and looking for a new agency to course correct. Execution and outcome aside, I do appreciate that this rebrand was an attempt to queer the automotive space, and it should be noted that was a large part of why people were so upset about it. It was deemed too woke. We're in an interesting time where electric vehicles are kind of challenging the rev your engine masculinity of this industry, and it was kind of cool to see these like postmodern models strutting about, talking about breaking the mold, being androgynous, holding a bat to club the patriarchy. I don't know if Jaguar was the right brand for this, but I do hope it resurfaces somewhere else where it can really take hold. What's up, Subaru? Oh man, speaking of rebrands, we gotta talk about HBO. In 2023, as you remember, HBO Max became simply Max. But in a rare move, Warner Brothers Discovery is reversing course. HBO Max will be returning. Historically, brand reversals like this have been few and far between. There was the time New Coke was like, never mind, we don't want the smoke. Or when Weight Watchers rebranded to WW, and we just bullied them. And why HBO dropped their most valuable asset in the first place, we may never really know. At the time, they framed the decision as a way to expand the platform's audience, which made no sense. And internally, HBO executives reportedly harbored some doubts from the very beginning. And this wasn't even the brand's first identity shuffle. There was HBO Go and HBO Now, RIP. But the CEO has defended this most recent rebrand, saying that nothing stands for quality more than HBO. Yeah, literally. That's why we were mad. Are you trying to gaslight us into believing that this isn't exactly what we wanted from the very beginning? Because don't worry, I've still been calling it HBO Max for the last 2 years or however long. I am 30-something years old and I no longer have the RAM space to remember more than one rebrand. Sorry. Fortunately, the social team has not fumbled the bag on this. They're trolling themselves, of course, posting that meme from Girls with Allison Williams, where she says, "Let's make fun of the girl who took a risk and put herself out there creatively." They posted Jennifer Coolidge's line from White Lotus, "These rebrands are trying to murder me." I think they're striking the chord that Duolingo is trying to and failing at the moment, but we'll see. And speaking of fun and games, everyone's favorite satirical news outlet, The Onion, has launched a new creative agency called America's Finest Creative Agency. Such a good name. So that they can finally offer their gold standard copywriting and creative services to brands. Layla Brilson, The Onion's CMO, describes it as a combo of a writer's room and a strategic conceptual resource available to clients. So you can tap them for stunt marketing, email copywriting, and social-first vertical video content. She said that the inspiration for creating the agency came from watching the editorial team craft hundreds of headlines weekly, calling it a PhD in copywriting. It's no secret that humor writing is the absolute hardest genre to work in. It's just not something you can turn to ChatGPT for. And Brilson even acknowledges this, saying that AI tools currently lack the subtlety and nuance that's required for effective comedic copywriting. This feels like such a hopeful piece of news in our industry right now, that there is a writer's room that's being nurtured and appreciated for what a huge asset they are. Basically, I think the Super Bowl ads are about to get really good next year. And in true Onion fashion, they released all of this in a press release that is absolutely worth a read, with quotes like, "Nothing, not spouses, not children, not fragile elderly parents, matters more to the Onion's parent company than helping brands tell their stories." And in other excellent news, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles are hitting the Indy 500 oval this week. So 6 of the iconic hot dog shaped cars are going to race in the very first Wiener 500. It's today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and each of the Wienermobiles will be repping a different regional hot dog. So there's the Chicago dog, the New York dog, the Slaw dog, the Chili dog, the Seattle dog, and the Sonoran dog. And this is emotionally the first time in over a decade that all 6 Wienermobiles are going to be together. It's great timing because Oscar Mayer is the official hot dog of the Indy 500. The drivers are all going to wear custom racing suits, and instead of champagne showers, they're going to get sprayed with condiments. And I'm uniquely primed to appreciate this because I'm from Pittsburgh, home of the Major League Baseball team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. And during our home games, at the end of the 5th inning, we hold the Great Pierogi Race, wherein 6 pierogi mascots, that is Potato Pete, Jalapeno Hannah, Cheese Chester, Sauerkraut Saul, Oliver Onion, and Bacon Bert, descend on the field to run a 280-yard race. And famously, our Pittsburgh pierogies also race the Johnsonville sausages of the Milwaukee Brewers. If you don't know, now you know. I love a mascot race. They're absurd, they're unabashedly joyful. Everything that the Oscar Mayer brand is. And speaking of our friends at Oscar Mayer, it is time for an ad from the past, and this one is from 1953. This one reads, "Unexpected company? Oscar Mayer all meat wieners with sack-o barbecue sauce." Sacco barbecue sauce. Recipes are one of my favorite genres of vintage ads because I don't know what's going on here. I have no context. They age terribly. So we have baked barbecue, wieners and bean casserole, barbecue wieners stuffed with dressing. Your guess is as good as mine. Grilled barbecue, wiener, pineapple, tomato kebabs. Broiled barbecue, wiener and cheese sandwiches. Pictured here is a can of 8 hot dogs, and in the middle is a sack-o sauce. Sacco sauce. And at the bottom of the ad, there's also the Oscar Mayer chopped ham, which comes with Sack-o raisin sauce. Now you can get America's favorite ham and sauce dish in just one tin. I didn't know that about you, America. Full pound, family-sized loaf of cooked chopped ham, plus a delightful spiced fruit raisin sauce in a sack inside the ham-shaped tin. If you or your grandmother have like a ham-shaped tin full of buttons lying around, please email me expeditiously. It's important. All right, I gotta go watch the Wiener 500, so that wraps it up for the Daily Carnage Show this week. Thanks so much for joining me. I'd love it if you rated our show, liked and subscribed across our socials where you can find us at the Daily Carnage. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Carnage newsletter, where we're always breaking news and sharing insights and tools every day of the work week. Till next time, I'll see you in the inbox. Have a good weekend, Carnies.